Some truths are hard to hear. Some realities are uncomfortable. But avoiding them doesn't change the fact that they exist. And today, we are going to talk about uh, one of the hardest truths: the character of people we trust when we are at our weakest. The professionals who hold our lives and finances in their hands, and why it's time for change. For those of you who don't know my story, let me give you a quick snapshot. I've survived 6 heart attacks. I've had a quadruple bypass. I've had stents placed in my heart. And through all of that, I've learned the difference between care and business, between trust and exploitation, between those who see you as a human being and those who see you as just another case file, just another policy, just another number. Here's what they don't tell you: the moment you're wheeled in um, to that hospital, you're not just a patient, you are an opportunity. And the system knows exactly how to take advantage of your fear. Uh, Firstly, they manipulate you emotionally. They hit you with medical jargon, throwing around words you don't understand, making everything sound urgent, critical even. And before you know it, you are being prepped for surgery. No time to process, no second opinion, no real conversation about alternatives. And if you're lucky, you might have a moment to call a family member. But what about those who don't? Well, what about the 80-year-old grandmother that's lying in that bed, nodding along to words she doesn't understand? What about the father, the husband, the wife, the person completely alone in that room, trusting a system that doesn't stop to ask, do you understand what is happening? Have you spoken to your next of kin? The answer often is no. And what happens when you question it, when you hesitate? Suddenly you are labeled as a difficult patient, a non compliant patient. They look at you as if you are a problem, not a person. And in that moment of fear, of vulnerability, most people cave in. They trust the white coat, the clipboard, the confidence, and sometimes the trust is misplaced. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that every doctor um, is bad. There are doctors who genuinely care about their patients and their well being. For me, in my experience, this is the number of doctors: five, maybe six doctors over my 13-year period of dealing intimately with the medical system. I came across five doctors that took their time, was not for profit, but for humanity, to stick to that oath. But let's let's talk about the ones who see you as a means to an end. Those doctors who, at the end of the day, care more about their bottom line than about how you are going to keep the roof over your family's head, the food on the table, and the bills paid. They are concerned about whether you are able to pay those bills, or whether you're able to rely, whether you'll need to rely on your family. They see you as another patient in the system, not a person with real life challenges. But it's not about money, it's also uh, about psychology. Far too often, These professionals ignore the human aspect of care. When you are lying in that bed in pain and they come in with a clipboard ticking boxes instead of looking you in the eye and understanding your emotional state, they are missing something crucial. The fear, the uncertainty, it's real, but it's ignored. And instead, they rush you through the process, focusing only on the medical procedure in front of them, not the human being lying there. Now, let's talk about another industry built on trust, the financial industry. The world I've worked in for almost 2 decades now. If there's one thing in my health journey that my health journey has taught me, it's the financial literacy is just as important as medical literacy. Because when life hits you hard, whether it's a hospital bill or an unexpected loss of income, money, or the lack of it, can be the difference between surviving and losing everything. Now, let me be clear. I'm not speaking from a place of regret, but from a place of experience. I plan for life's uncertainties because of the protection I put in place. I've been able to live in a semi retired state. It's not always easy, but times are tough and sometimes things take longer to settle, but the essentials are covered. My bills are paid, my family is secure, and that's what proper financial planning is about, not just surviving, but ensuring that when life throws its worst at you, you are still standing. Um, I've seen some people sold policies they don't need, denied claims based on technicalities, and left financially stranded when they needed the help the most. When I had my first heart attack, I was in a position where because of my knowledge and my planning, I was protected. But that doesn't help you when you're still alive. A lot of people are just sold life cover. How does life cover help you to pay the bills when you are still alive? Now, don't get me wrong; it's an important tool in financial planning, but some people rely heavily on only life cover with no consideration for how am I going to make sure that I pay my rent or my bond? How am I going to make sure I put food on the table? How do I get to and from school and transportation and work? These are the questions uh, and things. These are the things that life can't help you because you're still alive. You're not dead. And I realized no one ever speaks about income protection. Um, it's always, the life cover that is pushed, but income protection um, um, helps you when your life doesn't end. It helps you replace the salary that is lost in the interim or temporarily, and you need to be prepared for that change. And yet, how many people blindly signed up for policies without understanding the fine print? How many people are pressured into buying financial products that serve the salesperson more than the customer? This isn't just about bad financial advice, it's about a system that preys on people's lack of knowledge, a system that sells security but thrives on fear. This is why the poor advisor exists, not to sugarcoat things, not to sell you a dream, but to tell you the truth about money, the truth about people who hold power over your health and your wealth, and the truth about what needs to change. So here's my challenge to you: pay attention, ask questions, demand transparency, because When life hits you hardest, you will see people for who they really are. And you deserve to have the right people in your corner. No one should have to fight for fair treatment in a hospital. No one should have to fight for fair treatment from a finance company. And yet, so many people do, simply because they don't know the right questions to ask. Um, and that is what I want you to take away from today's episode. Don't take everything at face value. Whether it's a doctor explaining your diagnosis, a financial advisor selling you a policy, ask questions. Be aware of what is being presented to you. It's your life, it's your health, it's your money, and it's your right to understand how these systems work and how they impact you. If this message resonated with you, share this episode. Let's start the conversation. Let's create change. Follow the Poor Advisor for real talk that matters. And remember, think, talk, and most importantly, act, because no one else is going to do it for you.